on, guys? For those of you who don't know, I'm Billy Perry, but we're at my favorite skate park today. I'm gonna try and teach you guys how to do crank flips on a BMX bike.
You take that bike off there, bro. Big shout out to Thule.
You don't know what a crank flip is? It's that. You could do 1, you could do 2, you could do 3, whatever. But the first things first is you want to make sure that your cranks are loose enough to do a full rotation. I keep mine just about like 1.5, so they spin pretty good, but not too much where they're gonna do like, if I kick it, like 8 crank flips, so that's 1 crank flip. Second thing is I would recommend wearing pants for sure, and shin pads. I don't have mine on now. You have your pants on, your pads on, your knee pads on, everything to protect you from the wrath of your pedals spinning around dangerously fast. I would recommend being comfortable with doing no footers, just like, you know, any kind of just like taking your feet off of the air type trick. You're gonna probably want to learn crank flips flat ground first. Just getting used to the motion of your cranks coming around. What I do to get the crank spinning is when I'm leveled out in the air, I point my toe down and scoop it with like the ball of my foot and kick back. So that toe pointing direction down kind of grabs the pedal with as much as possible and it just kicks it. Best place to learn any trick is your local skate park or any skate park that you have access to. It makes learning the trick a lot easier. You have ramps, transition, more air time to do tricks. This is what I recommend doing before you try doing it in the air, is just riding along, kicking it, because you can kind of hold your weight up with your upper body strength with your arms, so you can watch the cranks come around and make sure you have enough time to get back on it. It will just help you get more comfortable with the motion of your crank spinning in the air and your feet off and like what you have to do. You're also gonna want pretty grippy pedals and pretty grippy shoes, so if your pedals are balled on one side, it will not make it easy to catch. And if your shoes are balled on the bottom, you're just gonna be slipping out and then, you know, shinners and...
Like mine.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want pretty grippy shoes. I wouldn't recommend riding metal pedals because that will be death to the legs.
Horrible.
A few ways to do crank flips. I know some people use their back foot, some people use their front foot. I use pretty much all my front foot, and I kick pretty hard since when I was learning crank flips, my cranks probably about the same. They don't really spin too much. Like some people can spin like 3 crank flips in the air. Mine only spin like 1.5, so I have to kick extra hard. So when I do crank flips, I exaggerate the motion, which I'm not too mad about because I like the way like it looks in the air. The cranks come around slower. It doesn't look like too quick where it just looks awkward. So do a little hot one. Another thing is, this is a little trick that helps me a lot. That a lot of people, I don't know if they know or they just don't care, but riding a tall, fat seat helps incredibly. Knock on wood, I don't get shinners really, because if I know that I'm not gonna land the crank flip for whatever reason, if the cranks don't spin in the air, it's almost like a safety net. I'll either put my legs down or I'll catch cranks and just land on my seat and just ride it out. And it doesn't hurt. And people are like, how are you doing that? Like, if they did that with their seat low and skinny and slammed, it would hurt really bad. Or they just end up getting a shinner. So it's like a little safety net, a little insider tip, I think. But if you have a fat seat and you have it high, it will definitely help for that trick. I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah, do a safety.
A safety if my cranks don't spin around?
Yep.
See, I just kind of bounced off my seat. I didn't get a shinner because the things didn't come around. I just, you know?
Looks really good.
Sometimes you go to kick that crank flip and it doesn't come around. The more safety you have, the better. Crank flips are a great trick to know how to do. You can do them into grinds, out of grinds, up banks, into banks, nollie, spins, anything pretty much. You can crank flip as many places, even more than you can do bar spins, so it's definitely a good trick to know how to do. Let's do some crank flips. What I do is I hop, I level out, kind of keep my arms a little bit straight, point my toe down, kick it, and I do like a little scissor kick like that. I'll just show you guys in slow-mo what I mean, because I can't really explain how the feet go, but they do like a little kick action there. Pete's gonna try one. Yo. What? That was pretty good.
That's how you do it?
Yeah. Yo. A great place that I recommend learning a lot of tricks is the fly out. Any quarter pipe to flat. Just gives you a lot of extra time to get the trick dialed in. You can do it at your pace. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to do it too slow. However high you want to go, however fast you want to go, however comfortable you feel, you'll have that much time to do it. So I'll show you. I don't know if I learned crank flips how to fly out. I probably didn't. A good place to start if you want to. a great way to learn how to do anything, especially now with the access of YouTube, is just watch and repetitively watch until you have it in your mind of what the motion is. That's how a lot of people learn bar spins, a lot of people learn different tricks. So crank flip, same thing. Just watch the motion. I'll do a couple in slow-mo. Basically, you just want to get comfortable having the feeling of the crank spinning around below you. Once you get that toe point, I think is the hard part for a lot of people. The toe point and swoop under and kick, it comes around pretty easily. So with crank flips, I noticed for me, not every single crank flip I do is the same. Sometimes they come around slower, sometimes they come around faster. But when you're in the air, you can kind of get a sense of where your cranks are after doing them for quite a little bit, a little repetition. One of those crank flips I just did in slow-mo, the first one I think, it stopped spinning around here. So what I did, instead of just not landing it, I kind of took my catching foot right here, my back foot, I just guided it down a little bit and leveled it out and caught it right here. It is a way easier trick to correct than say a bar spin in midair. If your bars don't come around halfway, you're gonna get hurt, maybe, I think, but crank flip, there's a little more leeway of correcting it. So just keep that in mind if you're having trouble getting the perfect crank flip every time. I'll just do as many crank flips as I can here that I can think of. So hopefully you guys will take home some tips from this and enjoy the rest of this video.
Oh. That's it. Hey.
When you're learning crank flips, you don't want your spokes
Whoa.
in your drive chain. I don't know how that just happened, but it's not healthy. I think we're good. Woo! That was the first that's ever happened to me.
Tie that thing back. That's how you fix spokes, kids. Oh yeah.
How to fix spokes coming next with Pete.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
The next how-to video.
Subscribe, like, comment.
Need a new guard.
The next 3 crank flip variations I'm going to show you are a little bit different than the normal crank flips. You have to go about them a different way. You have to get a steeper toe grab, because you're going to be on your front end. So you're going to have to point your toe more down. It's going to feel awkward at first. These are like my favorite ones to do though, because they're pretty casual and they feel good. I'm going to do a nose bont crank flip, a nollie crank flip, a nose manual crank flip, and a hang 5 crank flip. The hang 5 crank flip is one of my favorites. Very different though, because you have to set your cranks out before you get into hang 5 so you can get that toe kick. Disclosure, I forgot to mention this. Some people don't call crank flips crank flips. I call them crank flips. Everyone I know calls them crank flips. Some people prefer kick flip. So if that's what you call them, it's the same trick, doesn't matter.
Kick flip's a skateboard trick.
Exactly. We all, New Yorkers, kick flips are not a BMX trick. Yo, we need your crank flip. What are your tips for crank flips?
Yeah, how'd you learn them?
I will learn that at Woodward, so.
Oh, go to Woodward. If you want to learn crank flips, go to Woodward. Oh!
Yo!
Cloud!
Yeah. That shirt though.
Yeah, word. He's in the track shirt.
Yeah, dude.
All right, he just did it to Fakey.
You never went to Woodward though, so I don't know.
Never went to Woodward. Never even left New York. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have anything else that you would like to add if somebody's trying to learn how to crank flip?
Kind of just started today again, so.
Sick.
I just like put my foot like this, and then my other foot like that, and then you scoop it with your foot forward.
Scoop it with your foot.
I'm petrified of any trick to Fakey, and my cranks don't really spin. So
Let's get it.
let's get it. Oh!
You did it first try. This guy's a clown.
I'm scary. I'm scared of it.
So now hopefully you got the crank flips a little bit more dialed in. This trick's great because you can do it pretty much on every bike that has spinning cranks. I've done them on downhill MTB bikes, felt the same way, honestly. I've done them on my girlfriend's beach cruiser. I've crank flipped just about any bike that I've ridden because it's the chillest, fun trick to do. So hopefully you guys learned something today. Pete's gonna try one more crank flip. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what the next how-to you'd like me to do would be. I'm down for anything. It's been 5 years since I did my last how-to, so let me know how I did. Leave a comment, a like, subscribe, whatever you wanna do. And Pete's gonna get this right here, so let's get it. Let's get it. Yo!
Didn't count.
Oh.
One take, Petey.
I'm the best rapper, singer, BMX rider ever to exist.
Fence installer.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh!
Celebrity guy.
Scare!
Told you. I'm the best.